Welcome. I wanted to explain the idea of strategic thinking. It's a common coaching tool that I discuss with clients that I thought was worth sharing and explaining. There's a number of benefits to thinking well, and strategic thinking is certainly one of them. And it starts with the idea that we all think in certain directions in our brain. And those directions are simplified through this idea of this sort of compass-looking tool here, where if this is now and today, obviously out to the right is going to be the future, and to the left here is going to be the past. And thinking out from where we are today, here and now, out into the future has significant benefits, but it also has limitations and restrictions. The typical strategic planning process looks like this. Where are we now? Where do we want to get to? How do we get there? ABCDs, SWOTs, PESTs, those types of analysis offer us a view of the future and a way to think, but it's only one way to think. It's time-bound and it's linear, and it restricts our ability to stretch in other directions that might really enrich our ability to think well. I think about and perceive thinking to be a visual thing. Where am I thinking, and what direction is my brain going when it comes to thinking well? And the bits that I would like to add in are, how do we help you think up? What are the contexts with which you need to consider you and now moving from here to your team, your division, your department, your organisation, your industry, and even right up into the sort of the world. If you're a global leader, that's a relevant frame of reference to stretch up and elevate your thinking. The other form of thinking or direction of thinking that can be really helpful to round out your thinking is to deepen your thinking, and that is about gaining insight. What is it that you know about yourself that can help you think well? That might be your values, your beliefs, your assumptions, your biases, those sorts of things that sit in what I call your underberg of your iceberg, the bit that is below the surface that we can't see, that's down here. But that's looking down and in. And that, again, enriches our ability to think out to the future, up to the big picture. You know, bosses often say you need to get on the balcony, not on the dance floor. You need to take the helicopter view. That's what helps us stretch ourselves up here and orient ourselves, you know, in terms of conversations, above the conversation or above the now, to connect in with what might be a better or bigger context. The final direction is quite obvious. Reflecting and looking back is a powerful practice for thinking well. If you can reflect, you can gather hindsight. And so this idea is about, how do we think out further and further and further to enrich our thinking and look in different directions and ensure that we are thinking well by knowing who we are, where we're going, what the context is, and reflecting on the past to make sure we don't make the same mistakes again, or do some sort of review of what we've done in the past. All four of those help stretch and expand our thinking. I hope you find that valuable.